One of the things I always do before I go is I just check in the engine compartment and make sure there's no issues down here. There's not, excess amounts of water in the bilge that shouldn't be there. And the other thing is this gear lube container here, ever since I had my engine replaced, since the cracked block feature happened, and I'll link to that story here for you as well so you can check it out. But the gear lube actually seems to drain a lot quicker, so I always want to make sure that gets filled up to the proper line. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but right in here, in this little thing here, you want to make sure it's filled right to the line, which is right about there, and it's about down to about half where it needs to be at. So all we're going to do today is just add a little bit of gear lube before we end up going out. Yeah, and this is the kind of thing where you always want to keep a certain amount of spare parts and spare, in this case, spare lubricant on the boat for these kind of purposes, because you never know when you're going to need to top it up. And that's about perfect right there. Done, and it's one less thing we have to worry about now out on the water. So the other thing I'm going to do while we're down here is we're just going to check the oil and make sure there's no problems with the oil. Generally it's something that you're not going to see a lot of problems with, especially in a place where you're only doing probably 50 to 70 hours worth of boating in a season. But it's good just to double check it and make sure there's no issues. Yeah, and that's right in the right about in between the 2 low and 2 full line, so we're about perfect right there. The other thing I'm looking for too is just to make sure it's a good color. You want to make sure it's not too burnt or that there's not an excess amount of water in there, because those are all signs of bigger problems. But everything else looks good to go. So we tried to get gas earlier. Usually when we get down to about half a tank, I try not to go much lower than that. And so we tried to get gas a little bit earlier. We were going to stop at this little resort marina that we like to get gas at. The wasps are terrible tonight. But when we were pulling up to get gas, there seemed to be like a considerable amount of ruckus happening. There was an ambulance on the beach. I don't know what was going on there. The gas dock was filled with boats. And it looked like there was a wedding going on as well. So between those three things, we just thought, yeah, we probably don't need gas that bad. We can get it tomorrow. We decided to continue on our way. But it was something, we intended on doing today. I just hate being out with anything less than half a tank unless I'm forcing myself to push the limits. So. that's pretty much it for today, guys. Just gonna make a little bit of nachos, probably watch a movie or two, and our neighbors don't seem like they're gonna be too loud. Those guys right over there, I think they're gonna be okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have some nachos and watch a movie and call it a night. Get up tomorrow and do some more stuff. Maybe do a little bit of photography tonight, but other than that, it's pretty laid back, I think.
Yep, super laid back. It's also really chilly out for August.
Yeah, it is surprisingly cold for mid-August.
Yeah.
We'll show you some of the we'll get some photography and take some shots of the clouds and stuff. It looks really nice out right now. But yeah, this guy here wants to do some fishing. But I think it's fishing time's over. Alright guys, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.